Okay, welcome everyone to another interview. My name is Stef and I'm the Psychic Soul Alignment Coach. And today I'm interviewing a past client of mine who took my Soul Aligned Impact program. This is my powerful now 12-week program that is meant to help spiritual entrepreneurs, conscious entrepreneurs to powerfully align with who they truly are on this deep soul level and powerfully align with their spirituality so that they're able to have the greatest level of success and impact moving forward because they're truly coming from this very aligned and authentic space. So Miss Seraphine, if you would like to introduce yourself a little bit about what you do, and then I'll start with the first question because I never know exactly what I'm going to ask these things.
Okay, great. So I'm Seraphine. I'm the owner and the maker of Well Pregnant, and Well Pregnant is a place for pregnancy guidance, more particularly doula guidance and coaching. So online coaching, like coaching for stress, for healing your pregnancy, and just repairing the bond between you and the baby before the baby is born. So yeah, that's my thing.
I love that. Thank you so much. And how did you feel about like telling people right now, just now in your introduction, like who you are and what you do? Because I know that's been a big journey for you.
Yeah, I loved it. It just flowed. Take a couple of months ago, I was struggling getting the words out. It didn't feel right, but now it just flows, and I can keep talking about what I do and what I want to do. So it's like just at ease.
Yeah, I love that. That's why I was asking, because it's like totally different from who you were months ago, and you're just like owning it. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. So to kind of give a little backstory for anyone watching, Miss Seraphine and I we met back in like 2015, many years ago when I was living in Belgium. So we've known each other since then, and we actually met through our passion or interest for vegan food. And that's how we connected. And then we stayed in touch over the years through the internet here and there. She followed my work here and there. And I think you took like maybe a course of mine once. And then, you've just been, following my journey, my work and stuff. So that's a little bit of how we know each other. And she's one of the few clients that I've had that I've gotten to know in person, which is awesome. And so I wanted to a little bit kind of let the people know exactly maybe where you were prior to actually signing up for Soul Aligned Impact. Like, what was going on with you? What was going on with your business? Did you even have a business? Where were you at in terms of your journey with that? And what challenges maybe were you having?
Before starting with the program, I was still doubting my business and what I wanted to do and what my mission really was, and if it was going to be successful and if it was the right thing. So I was like in limbo, like maybe I should stop, maybe I should continue. But then, and also having struggling with clients or even having people being interested and showing interest. So I had no engagements, no people interested, nobody messaging me for more information, and it was just a hassle. Even I wasn't motivated anymore. I didn't want to work a lot, and just starting to make content was like, okay, let's do this, let's make content and let's try to do something. So it was struggling and standing a lot in my own way and holding myself back a lot.
How long had you been trying to move forward with your business before you actually signed up for Soul Aligned Impact?
A year, I think. A year. A good year. Yeah.
And did you take any business programs before this, or any kind of business courses or something?
Not really. So some mini courses, videos, but not someone who coaches you or personal things. Just trying to do it on my own. I was like, I can do it on my own, but I was wrong. Sometimes you need to call in for help.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I remember when you reached out to me. So when you reached out to me, it's interesting because I just said it like in my last interview with Angela. Like, my guides were like, you need to write about this. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't see the point. Whatever, I'll just do it. And then 2 minutes later, like, Angela messages me. She's like, okay, I want to work with you. And I was like, okay, whatever. So when you messaged me as well, my guides were like, you need to launch this. And I was like, no, what? I don't want to. And they were like, you need to. I was like, fine, I'll do it tomorrow. And then like the day before I announced it, you messaged me and you were like, hey, Stephanie, I'm interested in that program. I was like, I wasn't even promoting it, but they just told me to do it again. And I'm like, okay, fine. So here I am. So it was just so crazy. And that you reached out to me right when they had told me like you need to do this, and I took it as confirmation, like, okay, go ahead and
Yeah,
go through with it, you know, because I resist all the time,
yeah,
like what my guides say. So
same.
so I love that because when you reached out to me, and I think, I don't know if it was with our messages or exchanges, or if it
Yeah,
was like on the call that we got, because I was like, hey, I'm happy to give you any more information, and we got on a call.
yeah.
And I don't know if it was on the text messages or the call, but at some point you were
Hmm.
just saying like, I just recognized like I can't do it on my own, like I'm missing
Yeah,
something, I don't know, I need some help, and I felt like you were the person to help me, Steph. So
yeah,
what exactly made you feel like you just couldn't do it alone anymore? Because that's, I think, what holds a lot of people back is like
yeah,
they have mentality of like, oh, I'll do it on my own. Or sometimes people, you know, there's a really fine balance between knowing when you would benefit from the support of a coach and knowing when you don't need a coach at this time,
yeah.
and really stepping into your power. There's a fine balance there. So for you, what made you feel like it was the time for you to receive help and to take that next step and to have that guidance and support?
Um, First of all, it was an urge, a feeling I was resisting a long time and thinking about maybe doing something, maybe not. And then one morning, or I was just scrolling, I think, and I just saw a post of yours, and I was like, I need to work with Steph. And then you start ignoring those signs, like, okay, no, I can still do it. And then another sign and another sign, and then I was like, okay, I'm listening, fine. And then I was like, okay, let's see what she has now. And indeed, you didn't have a program at that moment. I was like, okay, she doesn't have a program, but I know I need to work with her. So I sent you a message. I was like, I'm done with playing small. I'm done with doing so slowly. Things were going slowly, moving slowly. I know I was going to get her on my own, but it was going to take years, like the last couple of years. And I was done with that. I was like, okay, time to go further and move further. And it was and just because I set intentions in the beginning of the year of building my business and making it bigger. This was the next step, and I knew it. And I was like, okay, my intention is to do this, and I know that Steph can bring me the results. I know she has done amazing work, so just do it and see what comes out of it. And I was like, okay, just jump in. It's time. And I was over it. I was like, I'm done. I'm done playing small.
What made it feel like such a big step for you? What made it feel like, okay, I just got to go in the deep end? What made it feel like that for you?
Just asking for guidance, just going to someone else, like, can you help me? Okay, I need to go further. Most of us are like, I can do it on my own. I have been doing it a long time. I don't need anybody. I just can find a book or information, and that's going to help me. But there's a big difference. And for me, taking that step and finally reaching out and talking to someone and telling them, like, okay, I need your guidance, and I'm ready to listen and to go deeper, because starting the program, I knew I was going to have to dig deep and look at myself hard, and finally start to taking responsibility. And I was like, oh Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. I love that you mentioned that because, you know, books and courses, they're great, they're
Yeah,
amazing, they help you get some
yeah,
foundational information and stuff, but it just never can compare to having someone help you there. And
yeah,
even in a
indeed.
group setting, it still makes a big difference, you know. And if you can get even personalized, you know, support with a private coach or
Yeah,
something, it makes also a big difference there as well. So you got to witness that for yourself, that the books or the courses, you know, didn't
yeah.
match up to what being supported by someone and guided through a process is like. So thank you so much for sharing that. And also, you know, I think that's one of the things that holds a lot of people back from being able to receive any success from their businesses is, you know, if you have trouble asking for help, you have trouble
Yeah,
receiving help, then how can you receive clients? how can you receive
Yeah.
money when you have so much pride that's like, no, I want to do it on my own, I want to do it. Then, you know, the universe can't help you either, because you're like, no, I got this, I'll do it on my own, I'll figure it out. Then it's like, fine, then you work it out somehow, you know. And sometimes taking that step of, you know, investing in yourself to receive support, asking for that support in some different way, like in whatever way is required for you, you know, that is the step to opening up to receiving that a lot of people need sometimes. So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that. And I totally resonate with that as well, because that used to be me as well. Like I, you know, I'm the oldest child of my parents, and I had a lot of responsibility put on me. I took it on as well. And I was just very independent. I have always been independent. So I'm like, I don't need you. I can do it on my own. Or like, I'm carrying heavy grocery bags, and men are like, do you need some help? I'm like, no, I got this. I'm strong.
No.
These arms, don't be fooled by these arms. Like, I got this, you know? So I can totally get that as well. And I've had to learn to receive gradually over the years. So
Yeah.
it's a journey.
Same. It's still a process.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would like to know exactly, you know, what exactly do you feel that soul aligned impact really helped you with in terms of your business, in terms of your personal life? Like, what did that program really help you to be able to improve upon any
Yeah.
benefits that you may have had or results that you want to share with people?
There's so many. Um, just
Share
first
all of them. Share all of
starting,
them.
yeah.
Just kidding.
To tune in and to feel and to know that I'm also going to be supported by the universe, and just trusting, even if I'm afraid, just go dive in. And there's no certainty in life. Just go in and trust. That was the first lesson. Learn to trust and just to do it and not think about it a lot. And then it taught me that about really sharing and opening yourself up really, and not like talking to people. But it learned me that I was closed off, that I had built walls around myself, and that nobody could get through, and that I even didn't know that there were walls. So that I remember one of our first sessions, we were just talking to during a Q&A, and everything stopped, and I just had an image of me surrounded by walls, a brick wall that I had built myself. And I started getting emotional. Everything came up, and I was like, okay, I'm still in a call. I need to finish the call. I can't get wrapped up in it, but it kept going. So I was like, okay, stop, just break the wall. So I broke the wall, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I looked around. I was like, no, you're not done. The wall is gone, but you're still inside of the walls. So you're still inside. So then I had to step out, and that was a huge release, and huge, yeah, it was overwhelming. And when I got out of it, I was back in the call. I was like, okay, I can finish this call. And after a call, I had a feeling like this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of real healing, and now to surface things and now to self healing things I was doing. I'm like, okay, I need to reach out more. So that was the beginning of really healing and really digging deep, and not scratching the surface of spirituality and healing. I can't tell you how much things came up, how much healing I was doing. And sometimes I was just, I was like, can I stop for a moment?
I
Can I
know
just
how
stop?
that's like.
Yeah. Yeah, things came up like, okay, you wake up and you're like, okay, and you just wake up, and then something pops up and like, oh, okay, it's fine, okay, I can do it. And then you work with the program, you work with the PDFs, and then a lot comes up, and like, okay, done, healed. And you think, okay, I'm done for today. And then another image pops up, another trauma, another lesson you have to learn. And it kept going for a long time. And I know I asked for it, but I didn't realize how heavy and how much it was. And just seeing and realizing how things of your childhood really impacts you. Like a stupid thing, a stupid incident that happened in my childhood still remains with me, and made me not doubt myself, or made me stuck in a cycle. I was like, really, that one instance, and things, memories I had repressed, and I didn't even knew that were there, came up, and I was like, whoa, it's all coming up. So that was a lot of healing, and I was so grateful, but I was heavy at the same time. And also learning to trust that everything is going to work out, and even the money. And I was like, I don't give a crap. I need to invest in getting forward, because just staying stuck in the same position is not going to help me forward. It's going to make me lose even more. So I was like, okay, just get it and just start. And because I had to taken the step to work with you, it made the step much easier to reach out to others. So in person, so I went to a hypnotherapist, because during the program I was like, oh damn, I need one. So that made the step easier and helped a lot. And because I made a bulk uh, role, and then found someone who did spiritual work, shamanic work, just appeared, like everything is just appearing now in my life. And I was like, whoa.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's just magic. Everything became magical. So just things started to appear, like, oh, I was just thinking about it, and oh, another person. And even after the program, because during the program I was scared that if it stopped, I would lose everything. I would go back, and I would not know how to go further. So yeah, but during the program, um, we learned, and it gave us so much information and tips about being confident and just trusting ourselves. Because I really always doubted my own knowledge and that I can do it on my own. Even I was doing it on my own, but at the same time, you still doubt yourself. So yeah, that was that is gone. I was like, who cares? If I don't know everything, I'm just going to tell them, and learn learning my own value, because a lot of people don't know their value, don't trust their value, don't think they're good enough or smart enough, or yeah, all those things. And you learn this to just work on them and wipe them away. Focus on the things you want, but first by looking at the moment now, what's now and what you want. And I was like, holy shit, the things I wrote, like, really, is this really what I think about myself? And I was like shocked, because it was all unconscious stuff, and like it's all in there. And I went out, and on personal level, my relationships got so much better.
Okay, hold on
So
a
much
second. I'm
better.
gonna ask you about that. But you said so many things with everything you just said. I was like, Stephanie, make a mental note. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. So hopefully
So many.
yeah, hopefully I remember it all. But you said so
Yeah,
many amazing things, which is a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs, we have the best of intentions in the world. We want to
yeah,
make a positive difference. We want to help other people. We want people to return to love, but we don't recognize that we are so freaking wounded and we have so many walls up, and that we
yeah.
don't allow people in, and that we're trying to spread these positive messages or whatever, do
A
these
lot
things,
of
and we're
fake
like, well,
positivity. Yeah,
yeah, and they're like, how come nobody
yeah,
sees it? How come nobody's connecting? And it's like, well, because unconsciously you have energetic walls up that don't allow people in for whatever reason. It's stuff around being rejected, around not being worthy,
yeah,
around, fearful that they're going to attack you or whatever it is. And you have all of this unconscious stuff that you need to look at and process and stuff, so you can actually bring your walls down, so you can actually open your heart to receiving these people, to
yeah,
really being your true self. And that's what you mentioned earlier, is like you were made aware very early on in the program, because anytime anyone comes and works with me, you're asking for really deep healing in whatever program, whether it's soul aligned impact, whether it's remembering who you are. They have different focuses, but both of them do very deep healing. And so when you ask to do this deep healing with me, you come into my energetic vortex, which is, okay, we're going to look
yeah.
at your deep shadow. You better be ready. And very early on, you had that experience where you saw that image of you being in this wall, and you had that very
Yeah.
emotional experience. So you were like, crap, like I'm really doing some deep healing now. Like, you asked for it, you stepped into this is what you're getting. So thank you so much for sharing that. And what else? You said so many things. I was like, mental note, there's so many.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because when you really take the time, for you, for your work, it's especially important for you to
Yeah.
do the inner work. I think the work
Yeah.
really
A
showed
lot.
you how important your work is, because you were able to see
Yeah.
how much your own childhood trauma impacted you. And that's very much connected to the work that you're doing, which is helping people have raise their children consciously, have conscious
Yeah.
pregnancies, you know, and really understand the importance of
Totally.
their
Yeah.
own healing and all that stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So you have that lived experience to be able to teach from, but you needed to walk the path as well. You know, this past week I've been speaking on YouTube. I did video teachings. I can't remember the titles anymore, but this past week I did a video on how, like, you need to really go through the process of it. I think the title is something like your impact will be as big as your willingness to develop yourself, something like that. And really, like, the only way for you to really make your impact is you got to do your own healing work. You know, that's how you're going to have the insights,
Absolutely.
the experience, the personal power required, because now that you've done all this deep healing, you feel more empowered because you know more of who you
A
truly
lot.
are, you know. And you're able to better hold space for people because you know you're no longer buried underneath that lack of self-confidence or self-worth or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you're able to really own your powerful leadership role, own your wisdom, your experiences, to better hold space for your clients as you move forward. And that's so super important. Otherwise, if you're still buried underneath all those layers of trauma and pain and, you know, ego stuff, then you can't really properly hold space for people, right? So do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because now I've been through the program, and now, now if I look back, I'm like, oh wow. If I had clients at that moment, I don't know how I was going to hold space for them, because I was already overwhelmed with other things in life, and like not taking care of myself, and then expecting to guide others was like, no. You need to take care of yourself first, because you're not going to give them quality, you're going to give them lack of energy and not your all. And to learn first to hold space for yourself so you can hold space for them, and that's the thing. I'm like, now I'm like, I get it. You can't hold space for another if you can't do it for yourself. And it's not okay giving that low vibe energy off to other people. Better to not work with them and work more on yourself than to give off that energy and bring them more down than they were before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so super important because even just yesterday, I was speaking to a client and I was like, you know, with soul aligned impact, it's not an immediate, like, you're gonna just jump into business right away and, you know,
Yeah.
do all
Yeah.
these things right away. It's like, no. You gotta get yourself together. You gotta work through your stuff deeply. You gotta really build yourself up and connect back to who you really are. This is an important message. Okay, you hear the alarms are going off. And it's really, you know, about becoming strong in yourself so you can be at the
Yeah.
highest capacity that you
Yeah.
can be for yourself, for other people. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be at a certain level inside of yourself. And I was just telling this client yesterday, I was like, sometimes you need this time to work on yourself only and really powerfully put into you, so that you can then, as you move forward, have an
Yeah.
easier time with everything that you're doing, instead of trying to do this deep healing work while trying to hold space for people, but you're struggling because your healing is intense, and you're trying to, like,
Very
keep,
intense.
yeah, and you're trying to keep up with stuff, trying to hold, you can't do it. Sometimes you need this time to go within just for you,
Yeah.
just for you. And it's the same thing that
Yeah.
I went through last year as well with my dark night of soul. For anyone watching for the first time, like in 2019, I had a really rough year. Everything went to crap, you know, because I got disconnected from my, just a bunch of different things. I was just totally off my path, and I had to do this deep healing for 2.5
Yeah.
months to really come back home to me and figure out who in the world I was, what my work was about again, why it mattered, and really just
Mhm.
take this time for me, not do anything related to work, business and stuff, because I was not in a good state to give my best to people, and I wasn't even aligned with my work anymore, and it just wasn't the best place. It would be out of integrity for me to work with people. So I just took that
Yeah.
time for me. And then once I came out of that, it was like fire. I was like, I'm back here, I'm doing this, and I started coming back up, you know? And that's what Soul Aligned Impact does, is it helps you to get realigned so that by the end of
Yeah.
it, you're ready to go, you know?
Yeah. It really shows you what you need to do and the steps you need to take. So after after the program, I know what I have to do and I know where to go. But at the same time, it shows you and it lets you tune in. Like, is it really the time now? Is it time to go fast or slow? And it makes you be more at ease and more accepting and trusting. Like, no, I have to rest. I have to work on myself, or I have to work on my business, and not even feel guilty, because there was also a moment I was like, oh, the guilt. I was like, and then the program was like, no, you also have to make time to rest. You have to be consistent, but also find the balance first when something comes up and when your body is aching or all the signs are there. You have to listen and just rest and be. And in that rest and in just a being, then so much more information and inspiration comes true, and you get more empowered, and everything um, gets integrated in your mind, in your body. So the lessons are being integrated in the resting time, and learning and accepting the rest time was hard, because I was finally like, yay, I'm finally consistent, yay. And then it stopped. I was like, no. And the guilt, and then but now it's like, no, okay, why? It's just a process. Things don't have to go as fast as we think we want, because sometimes we're not ready, or right things are not aligned. And for people who are like, yeah, but I need the clients to make money, I need to bill my bills, there are many different kind of sources to have money, and it can come in just if you trust and let go. You receive from different kind of sources, like, oh, okay, it's there, but you just need to let go and not be so caught up on one source. Sometimes it's just not the right time to work with clients, and don't worry about the money, because it can come in unexpected ways. And I was like also learning to trust, and like, okay, let it go, it will come in, and just be.
I love that. I would like to ask you, because one of the things that Soul Aligned Impact really teaches people is really discerning the difference between ego and soul.
Yeah.
And so like I said earlier, a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, they have the best of intentions, and they're like, oh, I just want to help people and this and that, but they don't realize a lot of times how their actions or the things that they're wanting to do is coming from ego a lot of
Yeah.
times. So maybe, like, what was your biggest eye-opening experience from understanding the difference between ego and versus soul? Or how did Soul Aligned Impact change your life and how you do your business, because you now understand the difference between ego and soul?
Oh, yeah. The programs I created in the beginning, and the reasons why I made something, the intentions after, the intentions behind that were like eye-opening. I was like, oh no, I made that calendar just to lure people in, not to have that following. I was like, oh, that's why. And I was like, oh, I have to let it go. So ego is trying to keep it and tell you, no, it's okay, it's perfect, it's amazing work, you worked hard on it. But then you have to let it go, because the intentions weren't right. Some things you can adjust, but just learn to create from the best intentions of guiding and helping people, or not to make the big bucks, to sell out, or to have more engagement or more followers. And I was like, oh darn, a lot of things were from created from ego, and telling me, like, I go further, yeah, do it like that. Oh, did another person does it like that? Oh, you can also do it like that. But no, copying people, no, it doesn't work for you if ego is talking to you. You don't have to invent new things, but don't do things because you know it works for a lot of people, but it's not everything is going to work for you.
Yeah, that's so important. I see a lot of people get caught up in that, and I really feel like Soul Aligned Impact really helps people to tap into their own unique way of
Yeah.
growing their businesses, marketing it, just doing things in a way that really feels good for them and feels right and aligned, and is truly coming from soul instead of their ego driving them
Yeah.
to do it for a certain outcome or whatever.
Yeah, because I love that you told us that every marketing, I love that there was a part of marketing and in it, and because you told us every marketing strategy works, but it doesn't work all for you. You just have to search for your own thing and the thing that works for you, not copying because it's the successful one. No, you have to tune in and listen to yourself, and know that the strategy that it's attracting you, that it's going to work for you, and not listening to others because they've studied marketing a lot and they know it better. No, if you really tune into spirit, they're going to tell you, like, no, that's not for you. And not be afraid to do it your own way, and that's a lot. Not being afraid and not letting others talk you into doing things. Uh, yeah, doing things that you don't want to do it because it's going to create a more following, more clients and such.
Yeah, and the only way for you to really tap into like your own unique strategy is knowing who you really are, which comes through the
Yeah.
healing, because otherwise ego's going to drive you. And ego's really subtle and sneaky that it'll make you
Very subtle.
yeah, it'll make you think like this is a good idea. You know, this is really coming from your inner guidance, but it's like actually ego, you know, if you're not able to
Yeah.
discern. So I would like to know, there was one question. Oh yeah, healing work. You mentioned
Yeah.
earlier how like healing work was deep and you had been doing your own healing work prior to joining the
Yeah.
program. So what would you describe for people watching? What is the difference between doing your own healing work versus being in a program like mine and doing this deeper healing work? Because, you know, there are people out there, they're like, I'm always doing my healing. They're always doing it by themselves. You
Yeah.
know,
We
they're
all
figuring
do,
it out by
yeah.
themselves. So what is the difference for you?
If you're doing it on your own, you're probably going to take it more slowly and more on the surface. Sometimes you don't know how to get deeper, and sometimes it's just a small alteration in your technique, or someone can tell you like, "Oh, you're not doing it correctly." So just for the small adjustments, it doesn't need to be big adjustments like, "Oh, you have to do it. You're all doing it all wrong." But a subtle adjustments can make a huge difference. And also, yeah, I thought I was doing real healing work, but I was just making the baby steps, and I was saying the baby steps and thinking, hey, I'm doing fine, and keeping myself small and not pushing myself harder and not really um, just afraid to look at the negatives. So people are afraid to look at the dark side. And the program, because the first models were about fears, and yeah, they pushed you really to look at your fears. And if you don't have someone there to push you and to make you accountable for your fears and to make you like, don't forget to make your homework, your PDFs by that moment, you're going to push it, and you're not going to do it as fast as in this program, because you know next week I have another thing, so you have to do it now and do it fast, because yeah, otherwise you're going to be behind. And every time you told us to tune in first, and the tuning in first before starting made me go way deeper. I was like, holy moly. Yeah, doing it by yourself, you can get there, but it's going to take you a longer time, and you're going to do it slowly and not dive so deep and going yeah, so hard in it. And it was hard. It was a lot of work. And if you're doing it alone, you're going to be like, it's a lot of work. I'm not doing it all today. But when you're in the program, like, I don't have it. Yeah, you have a choice, but you chose to do the program. So like, okay, I chose to do the program. So I'm doing it all now. I'm taking it all in, and there's no, yeah, you have to do you have your household, but you have the program and all those things. And like, okay,
There's no more excuses once
no
you've
time to
invested.
play small. Yeah, you have to invest, or yeah, well, and also like, your group is counting on you, like, I don't want to disappoint me, so you have that accountability, like, I have to do it, they're doing it, I have to do it, and not quitting, I'm just going, because healing pushes you, and sometimes you have the feeling like you want to quit. But if you have a group and someone behind you, in those moments you don't quit, you just keep going, and you get back past it. And when you get past it, that's when real work starts, and the healing and the magic. But is that step, that's where you get stuck when you do your own self healing. There's a step you just can't get past, because you've seen it all, you've done it all. And someone who can, because also it's you, with our Q&As and your and the messages you gave us, you just pinpointed and it told us like, stop, stop uh, playing small, stop doing that, and like, ah, no, ego, yeah, it's in the way. Stef is telling me stop it. And if you don't have someone there to pinpoint those things you're doing that you're not noticing yourself, you're going to get keep being stuck in those cycles.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And you also mentioned that a little bit earlier, like the healing is not always easy. It does feel heavy sometimes. You're
Yeah,
releasing a lot of density and you're really looking at yourself in ways that you have consciously or unconsciously repressed. And sometimes in the process of all of that upheaval, you know, it can feel rough and you can want to quit. And I think that's the beauty of being in a group
yeah,
setting or working with a coach in some way, is they're helping you to keep moving through it again and again and again. And
yeah,
that's the power of making an investment too, because once you've invested, even though for some people it is scary, and I definitely know I can relate, because
yeah.
the first time I invested, I had to commit. Yeah, I had to commit to paying, you know, $350 a month to a coaching program for like 9 months. And for me at the time, I was living in Peru. I was making no money from my business. That was like the
Yeah,
equivalent to like $1,000 in my currency. And I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this now beyond the second month. Like, I don't know. And it was scary for
same.
me. Yeah, it was scary. But once you're in it, you're like, okay, I'm in it now. I got to do it because I paid for it
Yeah,
and I'm here. So I want to get results. And you know that you just have to move through it if you want to see, you know, what can come out of this investment that you've made. That's the only way to know for sure. And
yeah,
it really pushes you, you know, because otherwise you're like, yeah, I'm going to heal. But we a lot of times have so much unconscious resistance that
yeah. A lot.
we will manifest things to keep us from healing. We will manifest things to keep us distracted, and then you never move forward, you know. And
Yeah,
with this program, it really accelerates it, you know. It really accelerates the healing, because it's like, you want to make a big impact, cool, look at all your crap, boom, here it is, start looking at it,
yeah,
release it, release it,
yeah,
release it, release it, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
really, go ahead.
Yeah, I did it in the beginning. I did also did it because the part about manifesting things to keep you from healing, that was me in the beginning. I was like, I'm committed. I'm doing this program. I'm going to be there. And then something came up, and I was like, oh, oh, but I have the program on the same day. Okay, I'll do it. I'll just not be present at the program. I'll do it another time. And I did it, and when it happened, I was like, "Holy shit!" I wrote wasn't going to do it anymore because you write it down, and then yeah, I was like, "Oh no, I'm still stuck in a cycle," because you make us write it down, and then you can see all your bullshit, and like, "Oh no, I'm doing it again. Oh, my things to keep me stuck here," and like, okay, get out of it. And I was like, "No, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to show up and make yourself show up. There's nothing that can um, make you not show up." And yeah, sometimes if you really get sick and you can, sometimes like, okay, you have to rest. But most of the time, we're not, your ego is holding us back from showing up and doing really the work and keep us stuck in those cycles. And the program shows you your cycles so you can step out of it. And if you do it on your own, you're not really going to see those cycles because yeah, you're doing it on your own. There's no one to pinpoint that and to remind you like, this is your cycle, you're stuck, and it's way faster. You get
Yeah.
way faster, and everything's like healing, healing, healing.
I love that you mentioned that, because that's like one of the things that I definitely teach in both of my programs, Remembering Who You Are and Soul Aligned Impact. For anyone watching, I have testimonials on Remembering Who You Are as well,
Yeah,
but I'm not launching it right now. I launch my things as I'm guided to. And one of the things that I teach in both programs is like breaking free from patterns, like those vicious cycles
yeah,
that you find yourself in, the same struggles, the same kinds of situations happening to you again and again and again. If you are not conscious enough to recognize why those things are manifesting and you
yeah,
don't know how to break free from them, you're going to keep yourself stuck on those things, and years are going to go by and you're going to still be in that same kind of thing situation,
yeah,
because you didn't have that awareness to recognize what it was about and what you needed to do differently. And that's something that I
yeah,
think is so super important for spiritual entrepreneurs especially, which is why like it's included in the program, because it's like, we're here to learn lessons, we're here to evolve as souls, and you need to recognize that there are going to be certain lessons that are going to keep repeating for you, and what to do about them so you can learn them, break free from them, break free from the
yeah,
hamster wheel, and actually move yourself forward to continue to create your impact. Otherwise you stay where you are, you know. So it's
yeah.
really
Same
grateful.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be stuck in the same cycles. Different people, And your ego is going to tell you, oh, no, it's not the same. But if you really tune in, like, oh, I'm still stuck in the same things, just different people, different kind of situations, but the core is still the same. I'm just getting out of that. Yeah.
Love that. So I would like for you to share any benefits or positive results that you witnessed in terms of your personal life that you were going to share earlier, but I had to like ask you
Yeah.
all these things before I forgot.
um, so my relationships are much better because yeah, I can be more open. I can be more. I can communicate more, and the program showed me I had trust issues. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. And knowing that you have that can help you remove them. So I was like, oh, I haven't. Now I can work on it. So something I carried on so many years, like, um, and so now, yeah, trust issues are almost gone fully, and I let people more in. So yeah, uh, and because the program showed me that if you're not, if you're always telling the universe like, yeah, I'm overwhelmed, I have lots to do, you're not going to get more. And I was a click in my head like, oh, I'm always saying it's too much, it's too much, the messages are too much, the mails are too much, and then I have to meet people, I have to have fun, blah, blah, blah. And then it clicked. I was like, oh shit, oh, stop that. I need to stop feeling like everything is overwhelming. And then when I stopped, more came in, but not with that negative thoughts and not with stress. I'm like, oh, a lot of messages from friends. Oh, I can answer everybody at this day, and I have more fun. I meet more people, and even if I see more, I see my friends more now. And at the same time, I have more business meetings. So it's like I'm still not overwhelmed, and like, whoa, I can I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm like, great.
I
Seeing my
love that.
friends a lot, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's so important because overwhelm is something I've definitely had to move through a lot again and again as a healer. And especially with like also just a lot of things I have, going on, and I
Yeah.
had to learn to not feel overwhelmed by it. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially mothers. You're a mother, and
Yeah.
you have your family you attend to, a small child,
Yeah.
and a business, and then you have your own personal healing and stuff, and it can be very easy to feel overwhelmed. And I feel definitely that the program really helps you to address why you keep creating crazy situations that
Yeah.
make you feel overwhelmed, because you're manifesting it, how to not manifest as much of it, and how to be empowered around whatever you do have going on so that you don't feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed. So I love that.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, for
go ahead.
the
Go ahead.
yeah, so for the people who always think like, how does that personal businesswoman, businessman, how does he combine everything, family life, fun, and business? If you really asking yourself that question, just then get in the program, because the program is going to show you what is how to manage all those things. I'm like, oh, it's that easy? Yeah, not easy, you have to work for it, but you're going to get the tools and know how to do it, how to manage everything. And like, oh, I can do it also. Um it's not out of reach. It's for everyone, but you don't just need the tools and someone to guide you to that.
Yeah, it definitely helps you to find your flow, your rhythm, your way
Yeah.
of doing things. Because I'm not there teaching you like do it my way. No, I'm like, no, you're gonna figure it out. But it's a process, and it
Yeah.
takes you healing, finding your flow, really tuning into your own inner guidance, feeling
Yeah.
what's right for you, that kind of thing. And I really wanted to speak to the fact that like you had some really positive shifts in terms of your relationship during the program, where there was like some misalignment there. But then as you did your own healing and stuff, that relationship started beautifully blossoming into more of what you actually wanted. And it was through recognizing that
Yeah.
you had all these things that you had to heal first for that to be created. And something that we spoke about previous to this interview was the fact that this program not just helps you move forward with your business and really come into alignment with your business, but it
Yeah.
helps like all areas of your life, which is what I do
All
anyway.
areas, yeah.
because because in whatever programs I do, I help you to improve all of your life, because I help
Yeah.
you to address the root issues of whatever is going on with you, and that then
Yeah.
goes out into all areas of your life. So is there anything that you want to share in terms of how improving your personal relationships has positively improved your business or the things that you do in your business? Because that's super important.
Yeah, just in the program, you learn that if something's off in some kind of relationship, romantic or with your child, it's going to impact your business. And it's very important to solve your relationships if you're struggling with your partner, if you don't know how to communicate that well, it's going to reflect on your business. And that was like a big eye-opening. Oh, okay, I have to fix my relationship with my partner. Look at it. What things did I need to improve? What things did I need to let go? And for me, it was a lot of letting go of control a lot, and letting go of controlling him, letting go of and trusting his process. So it was like, stop looking at others and let them go and start looking at yourself. And when I started doing that, the relationship bettered so much, and they started doing their own thing. Then they started flourishing just by me letting go. And I was like, that easy?
It really can be that easy. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, your relationships definitely impact your business. So you have to do the inner work to bring harmony to your relationships so
Yeah,
that those relationships are in harmony, and then you can move about in your business, you know, with more ease and stuff because everything is flowing in that area. So I
yeah.
love that. So Sylvie, thank you. Seraphine, thank you so much for your amazing time today.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you sharing your experience. And I would really love for you to, if you can, just to close up this interview,
yeah.
what is it that you could share with anyone watching about how exactly Soul Aligned Impact would help them to change their lives or change their businesses? Like, what do you want people to know clearly that they would be able to get from this program?
Okay. Yeah. This program is not going to improve your business, but it's also going to show you your mission. So it's going to make you trust in your mission and really finally start to embrace and accept what it is, what's part of your mission here on Earth, and it's going to open your eyes and make you feel like, oh, really, I'm important and I have to do this. And if I don't do this, yeah, okay, it's not going to better this earth, but better to do it now. We're here for a reason. We're here for yeah, you have your mission. And I was like, in the beginning, I knew I was going, but I didn't know it was so important. And it opened my eyes like, I need to do this. It's so important, and I have to do it, and I have to do it, and I can't just let it be. And when you know what you have to do, it's going to be hard to walk away from it. You can try to walk away from it, but it's going to keep following you until you do it. So the program is going to, for those who really don't know what to do in life and who are just still doubting from starting a business, it's also the perfect program to getting things aligned, and so you can know what business you need to start now and which path you have to follow and which mission you need to fulfill. And it's going to inspire you so much and make you feel more valued and loved and empowered. And it's like it's going to break you free from the chains you created yourself.
It's going to bring you peace, more flow,
Yeah.
more ease.
Yeah.
Is there anything you
Yeah.
want to share with people about what they can expect from my coaching? You can be honest.
Yeah. Stef's coaching is it's I didn't expect I knew Steph, but I didn't know how honest and how open her coaching was. She's like real. And if you slack, she's going to tell you. And if you're holding yourself back, she's going to tell you, but not in a hard way. She's not going to be soft on you, but she's firm and hard, but just in a loving way. It's hard to explain to experience itself. She's going to tell you what to do and to own up your shit, and like you'll be like, oh no, oh I disappointed Steph, oh I need to be better, but still with love and ease, like okay, I'm doing better. And you're so honest with your own process, and you share from a loving space, and always have uh, a message from your own healing and your own process that resonates. And I'm like, universe, how?
Because we're all going through it together. Yeah, that's something that for anyone who's watched my videos for a while and stuff, and you probably see me cry here and there and share my stories and here and there, like I share so much more in my programs because I'm always going through my own healing, my programs, and my healing. If I feel it's relevant to my clients and stuff, I share with them, and I share how I'm handling it to empower them, to inspire them to pick themselves back up and keep going, because it isn't easy sometimes, like we said, going through the healing experience, and you want to like just throw yourself on the ground and just give up. And then you need someone like Stef or your coach or someone to lift you back up and to inspire you, like, no, you got this, come on, I believe in you, let's do this. Then you pick yourself up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep going and keep going. And then that's what really allows for you to get the results, though. That's what really allows for you by the end of it to feel totally transformed and evolved, because you had someone there walking the path with you, showing you how they're handling it, holding space for you, helping you to move through your own stuff when you get stuck or whatever, and to just keep you moving. And you know, that's what I bring to the table. And thank you so much for sharing that.
And more. Because it's not only during the program you forget that you're a coach, so it's so loving and so with ease and peace, and you're like, oh, you forget that you're a coach, and the program just brings you together and more like friends and close friends now. So it's creating a bond. So for people who are afraid to make a friend, don't do it, because at the end you want to keep up with each other, you want to know how life's going, because you're gonna get close.
It's a deep process, so it naturally brings us together, and that's important, you know, because I'm big on community, and you have to, I think what keeps people from creating those bonds, those friendships, those true connections, a lot of times is because they just they haven't done the healing yet to open their hearts to be open to those kinds of connections. And because we do so much work in the program, and you really open yourself up more and more and more, it's like your heart is open, and then we're all walking the difficult journey together. So we just like, we made it, we got through this together. We're homies for life now. So I love it. Is there any last words you want to say to anyone thinking about considering joining this program before we just close up?
If you ignore the sign once, if you ignore the sign twice, just do it the third time. You just do it. Just stop ignoring the signs. You know if you need to do the program. You know if you need to work with Stef. You know, you feel it, and if you keep ignoring it, it's going to get back. It's coming back. Maybe not now, maybe in 2 months or 3 months, but just do it now instead of being in a year. Because I was also like, oh, last year I could have worked with her, I could have got further. I was like ignoring everything and just pushing it away. So just do it and stop slacking and stop lurking and just engage and reach out.
I love that you said that, because I always feel people when they're supposed to work with me, like I know it, but then I'm just like, I'm waiting for them, because I'm not gonna reach out to them, universe, unless you make me. And it's interesting because I had a client earlier in the year who was meant to be in a program of mine. And I don't know, for whatever reasons, they didn't decide to step into it at that moment. But then later on months around, when I relaunched that same program again, they were like, okay, let me sign up for this. And luckily for them, the program ended up costing 3 times more than what it cost the first time it was offered to them. So like, if you act sooner, you would benefit. Anyways, listen to the science, people. Thank you so much, Seraphine, for your time. Thank you so much for just being so generous and sharing your experience. It was such a pleasure working with you. I am so grateful to have supported you. I'm so grateful to have gotten to know you better through this program, and to have just connected with you so deeply and have your friendship. And I just wish you the best of luck with everything that you're doing. And I know you're going to be changing the world really soon, just empowering so many people with your beautiful work. So thank you so much for your time. And to anyone watching, if you enjoyed this interview, please give this video a thumbs up, a like wherever you're watching from. Drop me a comment in the comments below, letting me know how this interview inspired you in some way, what you got out of this, any questions you want to ask. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Hit that bell notification button so that you never miss out on a video from my channel. And if you're interested in Soul Aligned Impact, it launches this month, October 22nd. the year 2020. This is the next time I'm launching it. There is an early bird special price until October 11th, which also includes 3 one-hour sessions of private coaching with me for you to benefit from, which is what Miss Seraphine benefited from too, because she signed up early bird and she got the private session. And I believe the private session helped you too so much when we had it.
A lot.
A lot. See, so if you don't want to miss out on those extra private sessions and you want to save $1,000 off of the program, definitely sign up by October 11th. And if you have any questions about payment plans or anything, if you really feel called to be in this program, just reach out to me and let's see what the guides say and what's for your highest good, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for your time. If you watched this, I really appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Seraphine. Don't hang up on me because I want to talk to you before I officially let you go. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.